Do you have anything you want to tell them, Freedom? Huh? Any big news? Freedom doesn't have any big announcements. So my name is Jill, and we are catching up here on Survival Road. It is our Friday check-in video, and as you notice, the videos have been a little bit light this week. I really appreciate all of you who shared your definitions or what you heard me saying about this idea of road culture. It's really helpful. It's interesting because you never really know what people are thinking when you say things, so it gives me a way of kind of figuring out what you're hearing, what you're thinking, where you're going with some of these ideas. So very much appreciated. I think what I'm really settling on is road culture to me at this point really means move to live and live to move, because the more I'm just studying all the stuff right now that's so fascinating, but it even comes down to the seminar on barefoot science about how physical motion is deeply integrated into our emotional response and how our body is physiologically designed. It is endlessly fascinating to me, but movement is life. That is my takeaway. So that's why I like road culture to maybe reflect that it's really about movement. So I just wanted to do a quick check-in. As I said, my videos are a little light right now. I'm doing some kind of creative reset. You've heard me complain about my arm. I found a cheap knockoff keyboard that I'm hoping will substitute. It's a mechanical keyboard. For those of you who haven't used them, they go anywhere from $150, $200. I got the tools to repair it. It was out of my ability to do so, and it was $40 for the replacement parts, and it was $30 for the cheap one. So we're going with the cheap one, and see, that last time that made a huge difference. And the reason I get out of whack is I do a lot of writing by hand and I do a lot of typing, and those two activities are very difficult for my arm. And I've blown out some kind of muscle up here from, it's called the Popeye muscle, but it's back here from doing so much writing by hand. So it's a chronic issue if I can't stay ahead of it. And when my keyboard went out, I just went way back. So I know how to fix it. The tools, oh, he gave up. The tools are on the way. So thank you for your patience and your appreciation. And so during this time, I'm doing what I said, kind of a creative reset. I'm trying to stay focused, which is a challenge in and of itself, but it's hard to think about where you want to go while you're still trying to tread water where you're at. On a sidebar, I've noticed that a lot of the famous vlogging people, the ones who are super successful, have done some of the same thing, taking time out, reformatting, although their new stuff looks just like their old stuff. But with that said, I wanted to just give you a heads up. That's kind of what's happening over here. It is a gray day. I hope the sun makes its way out, and we are drier and dry. So it's been windy, which is very impactful in terms of not getting things done. But I'm all about focus right now, trying to focus on what I want to do, where I want to go, how I want to get it done. I've personally made a huge decisions about some things, and for those of you who are living in small spaces, you can appreciate how it's really difficult to do physical transitions in a small space. We're also in the process of doing that winter to summer switch out. There's some things that I do to prepare for winter and different clothing, and so there's a reversal going on. And so while I'm doing that, I'm also taking that opportunity to sort through some stuff, because some of my decisions are going to allow me to get rid of more stuff. It's those emotional items that you bring with you that are really hard to let go of. And in a world of uncertainty, the question is, well, what if I can't ever get it again? So that's something that's plagued me. And so now that I feel clearer, I think I'm willing to let go of a few more things that I haven't been willing to let go of. Fingers crossed. So that's what's happening here. I don't know if I'll be posting very much or just doing this Friday check-in right now. Everything is stalled out on my channel, whether I post or not. I've been ping-ponging back and forth between the subscriber ratio. So now is a good time, I think, to take that break. And one of the things that I really want to do when I come back to making videos on a regular basis, which could be next week or it could be a month, I don't know right now, is that I want to have a consistency to my content versus sort of a grab bag all over the place, which is the way it's been as I sort of sort through what I'm doing. And I think I've made that decision, what that's going to be, how I'm going to do it. It's a big project, so it's sort of what I was going to do before, but I'm going to do it on a different subject matter. So I'm putting all that together in my head because I kind of need to know how it's going to end before I start. So that's where we are here out on Survival Road in the middle of nowhere, getting ready for the next journey. So I hope that you are having a good week. Again, I appreciate your patience. I just want to say one more thing. I've noticed there's a trend sometimes when people make compliments to qualify it, like, I hope this doesn't offend you. I don't know what kind of world we live in where you have to apologize for saying something positive, but I don't live in that world, so please don't feel like you have to live there with me. That to me is insane. We are insane, but so I appreciate positive feedback. It's kind of nice to get that kind of thing, everyone. So, and you guys for the most part are very positive. So I just wanted to throw that out. Freedom's sniffing me up. Can you see that? Are you you sure you don't want to say anything? I don't think he has anything to add. He's been kind of silent lately. Can you imagine? So that is it. I can't think of anything else except I'm excited and I'm trying to get focused, which is my infinite challenge, but hopefully it will be for your benefit at some point in the near future. So before we go, we're going to take one big deep breath and hope that you will rise with the sun in your eyes, love in your heart, feet firmly on the ground, because we are walking. Right now we're kind of stalled out. We're not exactly walking, pseudo walking on Survival Road, one step at a time. The overall goal, though, is to stay human, live free, and die wild. Very close to explaining that. And with that, we'll see you next time.